GoLoud presents the Talking Bollox podcast.
What you waiting for? Put your back in it. Just a little more. Throw your weight in it now. Tell your body okay. Walk it hard and long. When you finish that,
The hip knocker.
go down, go down, go down. Come up, come up, come up, come up, go down.
Boom. Episode 66 of the Talking Bollox podcast, brought to you by GoLoud, the home of Irish podcast. It's me, Terry Flower.
It's me, COB.
And this week we're joined by...
Hello, Suzanne Jackson, Miss AKA SoSueMe.
she has a rap.
Yeah. You can tell who the pro is here, can't you?
You are fantastic.
Are we, yeah?
Yeah, you're brilliant. Very easy to be around.
Oh, love that. Suzanne, how's things? How are you?
I'm good. I'm stressed. Work is very, very busy at the moment. Chasing my tail as always, but isn't that business?
Yeah, but that's it. And it's
Yeah.
better than sitting around doing nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
But no, I'm good. I'm just trying to spin a lot of plates at the moment, but I love a challenge. Don't like being idle, so I'm grand. What about you boys? You're busy. You're
Flat
doing
out.
great.
Flat out, yeah.
Yeah.
Two busy fellas. We're actually recording this podcast ahead of time because I'm going to be away. So happy Paddy's Day, Devin. Hope you've had a great Paddy's Day.
Hope the fear isn't too bad.
Yeah.
They're probably still pulling the fear over now.
Come here, 2 bank holidays in a row.
I
The
know.
neck of this country getting 2 bank holidays in a row. 4-day weekends wrapped up. No wonder I'm taking a holiday.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Switzerland. Yeah,
Oh,
going
very
skiing.
nice.
Yeah, so hopefully Touchwood will come back in one piece.
I was just going to
So,
say, no broken legs, please.
Yeah.
Will White is actually over there at the moment. One of the boys are
Yeah.
broken collarbone, so...
Does he? Yeah.
They're
What
all
was
over there.
collarbone? Oh
Yeah.
no, it's very sore.
Have you ever been skiing?
No, never. It's one thing I want to do, but I'm scared that I'll make an idiot of myself. And I think one of them trips, there's a lot of drink involved, isn't there? Skiing?
That won't be
Yeah,
me
there
anyway.
is, but you don't
It
drink.
won't be me anyway. Yeah. No, I heard, yeah.
I'd be like shot at the top going, phew, down, probably
Yeah,
kill myself.
après skiing it's called, isn't it?
Après skiing,
Après
yeah.
skiing, you all get
It looks
locked and
like good
goes-
crack.
That's just a recipe for disaster, wouldn't it?
That's what I
You know
think.
I mean? It's hard enough to ski sober, like.
Yeah, imagine
And
being
they're all
hammered.
going to get locked and go skiing.
Disaster.
Right.
So we have no zinger results.
No, yeah, because we are ahead of time.
We're ahead of time, so we haven't got any... So a zinger is like a would you rather or a either or something like that. We
Okay.
do that at the start of every podcast, just break it in and whatever.
Okay.
But we've no results this week.
Right, well, we'll do one anyways for Suzanne's one.
Have you got a zinger?
No, but you have.
Yeah, it's a poxy zinger.
We'll go with it.
Go on.
Right, this one for the girls, Suzanne, yeah?
Let's do it.
Would you rather never use social media again or never wear makeup again?
Oh, that is a good one. I would... Oh, blah, blah. That's very difficult because I own a makeup brand, so I have to wear it to sell it.
Yeah, and you're big on the old social media as
yeah.
well, you know.
I
I think you
think-
picked the right person with this one.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where I waited.
I'm thinking about it. Can I tell you at the end? Or do I have to tell you now?
Yeah.
Okay, right, let me just... I probably
Take your
would
time,
rather,
but be quick as well,
I'd
yeah.
rather never use social media again.
Really?
Yeah, I would. I think it's
But does that not grow your brand for you? Is that not how it all kicks off?
I think I'd find another business tool to grow it. Put it that way. But
love
if
that.
I couldn't wear makeup, I wouldn't be able to stand behind my own product, of course,
Yeah.
which is absolute key. But like, I'm sure there's other social media outlets or platforms, or there'll be some other way to sell it. I'll stand on the side of the street if I need to.
That's that good
But,
entrepreneur mind.
Don't, not
Yeah.
the hustle. We
Yeah.
say it every
You gotta
fucking week.
hustle.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
I
That's
hope
a
so.
decent zinger, I think, for the girls.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, that.
I think it's also the cause of a lot of problems, though, in our generation. Like, you
Social
know,
media.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
like you can definitely see the benefits for obviously people who are
Of
trying to set up a
course.
business and stuff like that. There's so much negative. See all this cancel culture showing and all.
I hate it.
Oh, poor
hate
Joe
it.
Rogan. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh, what's
getting
going on
the neck.
there? I haven't been in tune with this. What's going on?
He got it in the neck like for about since the start of the year. Like if it wasn't one thing, it was another thing, and
Okay.
just a load of
It's
shit.
just a hidden agenda.
Yeah, basically, you know. And
Okay.
They're digging up stuff about him over the whole COVID situation and all because he's...
Oh, he was a little bit of a he was not really
Yeah,
in touch
yeah.
with the vaccine.
Yeah,
thing. yeah. Fair
I
enough.
guess on his
And then he was
podcast
all
and
of a
stuff.
sudden when that didn't stick, he was a racist, you know. Like that.
Oh
And
God!
They'll
See,
just
that's
dig
the
up
side I
anything.
hate
Yeah.
of social media. People like it's like as if they're the jury.
Yeah.
Social media, and they're not. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. It's court of public opinion, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I
Trolled
don't
by
like
social
it.
media. Keep it, like, you know what I mean? It's just...
everybody
we-
also makes mistakes. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's... I think the problem with the cancel culture is they cancelled 1 or 2 people at the start very early on for, like, obvious reasons, and then we're like, oh, we can actually do that, can we?
Yeah.
But you're getting the next.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
getting the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that. And I just think it is... If someone come out and say, like, try to cancel you tomorrow, Terence, if you just go about your life normal for a week or two, it kind of just fades away and you show it's not impacting you. Whereas you see some people, an allegation will come out against them and they just go radio
yeah,
silent,
it's very
and they're like, yeah, they're gone.
Need though, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Joe Rogan just kept doing his podcast like nothing happened.
He'll just
And
keep,
now he's grand.
If he wore off a duck's back for someone like him though as well, he's just such a.
I think he's
a
too
freak.
big to cancel,
Yeah,
isn't he?
that's the other side of it as well.
Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
some people who are.
But what they're trying to cancel him over doesn't stick as well. You know, like
Yeah.
there's some things where like if it comes out that someone did it, you're like, right, that cunt should never have a job again.
Exactly, I agree.
Some stuff definitely, but some stuff is like, yeah, come on, you're fishing here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You're trying to push the boat out.
I agree.
And I think that stuff doesn't stick.
Yeah.
You know, like that. But yeah, how did we get here?
I don't know.
I actually don't know.
I
Michelle,
do like Joe Rogan though, personally. I do like his podcasts. I
Yeah,
do,
he's a legend. He is a
Well, well
legend.
done to you guys. I'm hearing loads about yous. How I actually heard about Talking Bollox first was I was filming for the Style Counsellors. You guys might know or may not know about that.
I know of it.
You know of it? Okay.
Yeah, can't say I've ever watched it. Now, I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay. But like I go on and I basically take these women or men on a journey to help them kind of find their inner style. You work on their confidence as well and stuff. But my stylist, Aideen, said to me one day, Suzanne, do you ever listen to the two lads on a podcast called Talking Bollox? I said, no. She said, you need to go on their podcast. It is brilliant. They're just so down to earth and they get on really good guests. And she was like, I think you'd like them. And I was like, okay, great. And then I think you guys reached out to me around Christmas, wasn't it? We were kind
Yeah.
of talking about
January.
it.
Yeah, start of the year.
time.
Start of the year. Yeah.
And then my cousin Jamie was
Yeah.
like to me, you need to go on that podcast. The two lads Talking Bollox are sound. And sure, here we are. But I hear you are doing great things.
Yeah, it's mad
play.
because we went through the official route. And, like there was agents and there was producers touching base and here, there, and
Yeah.
that. And how simple it was. It was like your cousin just messaged me on Instagram, and now here you are.
Yeah.
That's how easy it was. So
Yeah.
shout out to Jamie.
It was actually her
Shout
at the
out to
moment.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
looking
here.
at it. Yeah.
He's in there. He's like a tomato. Look at what are you going red for?
He's a die-hard fan. He told me all about his in the car on the way in and everything. So it's nice to hear that because Jamie's obviously only 17 and
Yeah.
you're kind of influencing that younger generation. And yeah, he had a lot to say about you and he's very positive about you. So that's good.
Yeah,
Fair play
that's
to
class.
yous.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Nice one, Jamie.
Nice, Jamie. Right.
We give a shout out to
That's exactly what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. Yeah. So, what's her name?
our name is Emma.
Emma.
Emma Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calvin got a delivery for us.
So, Suzanne, we had these mugs since we started, right?
Right.
And it was personalised mugs. He had his own, I had my own. It was the logo with our name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come over here, we brought the mugs with us and we were like, oh, that'd be deadly. We'd be able to sit here, record, drink out of the mugs. But then after a couple of weeks, the mugs just went missing. And we were like, where did them mugs gone? And we were like, we never really got into it. And then one day we were like, no, we're going to get them mugs back. And then we did get them back. And then we had them for a couple of weeks. And then again, they went missing. But now they're proper gone, like gone.
Where are they
Gone.
been sold on the dark net?
We don't know.
that you
they're
boys
gone.
drank out of them.
Yeah, so they're gone. Like we can't get them. They're in the quantum realm somewhere.
Okay.
So shout out to Emma. She's had to sending out new ones for us and coasters. Look at that, personalised coasters.
Very
as well.
snappy,
yeah.
lads.
Right.
Initials and
Oh, yeah.
all on them. How would you like that?
So I was saying to
How'd
Calvin
you like those
earlier,
apples?
I'm bringing these back to the gaff for me. These
I'm gonna put a U-lock on this and lock it in there. So no one's taking that off.
Bring it home, bring it back in.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. That's how bad the fucking times have come. Because when we started here, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you was gonna wreck the place over there. You was a degenerates." Because news talk and all I hear, all the big boys
all
back
the
Kenny.
big,
There's a
all the
dress
big
code and all
You
down
know,
there.
like
Oh,
that.
really?
Give a bouncer on the stairs so we can't go down. And then their credibility went blade down the toilet when something got robbed on us. We didn't rob stuff, something got robbed on us. And we were like, fuck that. So
I
we're going to
love
have to
it.
blade and smash the window or something to get your rep back up, you know?
You have to get your back. You gotta get
basically.
one up now.
Yeah, basically. So,
Yeah, shout
Love
out
that.
to Emma for the
Oh,
mugs.
they're lovely.
yeah.
Very cool, lads.
Do you want to ask the main thing of what we always ask?
Go on.
No, go on.
Hit me with
Do
it.
where you win bike.
Oh,
Yeah. Suzanne,
Right.
this is what we ask every guest.
ah, no, now where you're going.
And
yeah,
if we
yeah.
don't ask, someone will pull us up on it and
Right.
say, Jamie, you know what's coming next, yeah? Do you piss in the shower? That's a yeah.
I have.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's it.
human.
Yeah, no,
No, we appreciate
the
that,
honesty.
Suzanne.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's only two people in the
Not gonna
world.
lie.
There's two types of people in
Does
the
anyone
world.
ever say no?
Roddy Doyle is the only man who said no. He started on you.
Yeah, Roddy Doyle said no.
I can just see the media. Suzanne Jackson pisses in the shower.
Suzanne Jackson is a normal person.
Yeah.
But that's why I've said there's two type of people in the world. Yeah, people who piss in the shower and lawyers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
be real here.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna bullshit. Look, at the end of the day, I'm human. Do you know what I mean? People sometimes think when you've got a little bit of a profile in Ireland that you're
You forget
supposed to
yourself.
think, yeah,
Like,
you
stop
know what I
pissing in
mean?
the shower. Like, no, we're saving a flush here, folks. Yeah.
Yeah, we're saving the environment.
You're saving the environment.
Yeah,
my
think
God.
green.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so someone has sent us a suggestion last week, and they said, "Will we ever have anyone on the podcast from outside of Ireland?"
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Are
We
you
talk-
eyeing anyone up in particular?
A few
We've
people.
been talking to a few people from England and stuff like that, and
Brilliant.
from Scotland and stuff, but we don't like Zoom calls.
That's
we did
the
one.
reason, yeah.
We
Bit
did one of
personal.
them with Liam Cunningham.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the Game of Thrones. We did a
Oh,
Zoom call with
wow.
him, and it was a good episode, but it's very interviewy then. Like you can't feel the energy in the room, and you know,
Yeah.
it's just nice to sit down and have a chat.
It's just
Yeah.
a conversation you
Yeah.
want rather than them there to plug a film or a movie.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
know what I
And you
mean?
see, if they're coming from the UK with agents and all that, sometimes there's an angle.
Yeah.
But look, I'm sure you're going to get someone on that's your. I mean, wouldn't you love to get Cillian Murphy on?
Loved it.
Oh, like
Loved it.
I'm just obsessed at the moment.
Yeah, that's a shout.
We know someone
Yeah.
who knows someone.
Oh,
Well, so maybe that's in the works. We'll leave it
Maybe.
at that, but
No,
where's
I'm-
the oyster, lads?
basically, but the only reason we really haven't had anyone on from outside of Ireland is it's been a pandemic the last bleeding 2 years. It's very hard to get someone into the country, you know, when you can't travel.
That's true.
So we're working on it.
Good.
And hopefully we'll have somebody soon.
Yeah,
Maybe from the UK, but I don't want to give too much away.
that's exciting.
Right. Bill,
fucked
boxed
up.
off.
Yeah.
Suggestions done.
Everything done?
Right, Suzanne.
Yes.
Every episode, what we do with our guest, we just
Okay.
ask you where you're from,
Yeah.
and what life was like growing up. So we want
Back to the start
Bring us
kind of
right
thing.
back.
Okay, so I'm from Skerries, North County, Dublin.
Sorry
Um,
for that.
Do you know Skerries?
No.
No, really.
Where's Skerries?
Skerries, out by like North
Balbriggan and all.
Balbriggan area. Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah.
You need your passport getting
That's
out
what
there.
everyone always said. A passport and a packed lunch when I was growing up. You know, when I hang around with Jamie's mum, Nikki. She's like my cousin. We're like best friends. So they lived in Swords. We lived in Skerry. So I used to always like go up to her in Swords and be like, "Jeez, you need your passport and packed lunch to go back there."
Yeah.
It is. It's far out. But no, I lived in Skerries. I had a very good upbringing. Very thankful for a good upbringing. Mum and dad are very normal people. Dad's from Dorset Street.
Yeah.
Near
What a
They're
yourself.
up down
What a
there.
man.
He's one of me own. A man of me own heart, that fella.
Yeah, he's a good man, I have to say. And then my mum is from Artane, so she kind of poshed him up a little bit. But
So
um,
who took who out of the gutter there?
Ah,
Who called out of the gutter?
Drag him out of the gut that she did.
it's just their opinions differ sometimes on some things, you know. But like, you know, he's a good man. My dad, like my dad and me have a really, really good bond, like
Yeah.
daddy-daughter thing, you know.
Yeah.
And my mum like idolizes her son, you know the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so grew up in Skerries and kind of never really knew what I wanted to do. Wasn't really big into, you know, school. Wasn't great in school, to be honest with you. Scraped my leaving cert, like
Yeah.
scraped it. All my friends were going off to study marketing and to become nurses and doctors, and I hadn't a breeze what I wanted to do. But in short, I kind of worked for a few years, and then I went back to college. And I went to college then and studied to become a beautician. Became a beautician, loved that, and then kind of got bored with working late nights and weekends. Wanted to go into the office world, so I moved into recruitment. Loved that as well. Thought that was absolutely brilliant, real challenging. I think the hardest thing to sell is people, and that's essentially what I was doing, working in recruitment. And then the recession hit. And I used to recruit for the big financials, so all the big insurance companies and the banks and all that. So when the recession hit around 2000 and what was it,
I think it was.
around
They
then,
stopped
yeah,
hiring, basically.
they stopped hiring. They were the main
Yeah.
ones that letting people go. So I was let go and made redundant basically, and was kind of on social welfare for a while. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, where I was going to go with my life. I was about 24. 25, and then I applied for a part-time job in 98 and Spin, and they're actually based here.
Yeah,
which
they're
is
the boys.
gas,
Yeah.
They're the boys
Um,
downstairs.
They're very good. So I applied for a part-time receptionist job with them. I got the job with them. Absolutely loved it. Started with them, and I quickly moved into full-time. But while I was working part-time, I said one day, I've got a bit of time on my hands. Everyone was starting YouTube at the time. That was like a big way to
Yeah.
kind of get yourself out there. But I wouldn't have known the first thing about YouTube or how
Yeah.
to video myself. I wouldn't even have been able to afford the equipment. So I said, I'll start on a blog. And I start like writing my thoughts and writing about myself and about fashion and beauty. And yeah, and then so SoSueMe was born, my blog from there, while I was part-time working in Spoon on 98. And then I went full-time with Spin on 98. And then SoSueMe grew and grew and grew in the evenings. And
So how long were
early
you
mornings.
working with 98 and Spin now?
I was with them for about 4 or 5 years, I think, about 4 years. Nearly
Just
5
as a
years.
receptionist?
Yeah, office manager, receptionist.
Yeah.
So started as a part-time receptionist and then kind of moved into full-time reception and then was office manager as well.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like I loved that job, but SoSueMe was in the background. And I
Yeah.
kind of always had big visions for myself. And I think Jamie was saying to me, money aren't big into the law of attraction. Money
yeah.
is, you don't like
sure,
it.
yeah. No, I'm
You're not
no.
into it, okay? And I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but I do believe in manifestations. I do believe in trying to think positive yourself.
Visualization.
Visualization. Well, that
Definitely.
as well, yeah. Being in a good headspace.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking negative and you're constantly thinking nothing's going to happen and this is where I am. I'm stuck in a rush. You're never going to change, or you're never going to.
No, never. Yeah, but you have to believe in yourself.
You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, if you don't, like for example, if you're getting into boxing and you
Yeah.
don't see yourself as a world champion.
Yeah.
You're never going to become a world champion. Like, you're not just going to get there by accident. You
Yeah.
have to visualize yourself actually holding that belt
Yeah.
in the ring, yet you will get there.
You know, I love to kind of see that energy in people. And like, I
Yeah.
suppose I kind of always had a little bit of that in myself where I wanted the best for myself. And yeah, so in short, I just drove SoSueMe as much as I could. I'm a bit of a grafter. I think you either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
graft or you don't. I'm working since I'm 15. And it became really, really, really popular.
Where does the idea come from?
So like that, I basically was just watching YouTube all the time, and these people were talking about their life and fashion and beauty and celebrities and all. And I kind of just thought one day, geez, I'd love to do that because I have the time. And
Yeah.
because I was working in Spin in 98, a lot of celebrities were coming through the door.
Yeah, so
you
you're
know?
going to meet a few people here and there.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of was like, I'd like to kind of talk about them, or like in the sense of like, I remember Jedward were getting a lot of slack, right? But they were huge at the time when I was working in 98 and Spin. And I'll never forget the day they came in and there was a queue around the corner and back for them, right? They stayed there and shook every person's hand, met every fan until they were finished.
Yeah.
And I kind of remember saying to the girls in the office that day, Jay's fair play to them. They get a lot of heat, but you know what? They stayed and met every single person on that road. And I really took my hat off to them because I've seen other bands come through the doors over the years
Blank
and
people
blank
kinda, yeah.
people. And there's no need for that, you know, because I just think you have to just look after people who actually do support you and put you where you are, you know. And I always think send the lift back down is one thing my ma always says as well, you know.
Yeah.
Send the lift back down for people, Suzanne, like look after people, bring them up with you. But I just kind of saw that in them that day. And I remember writing a blog post about them going, Jedward are actually sound,
Yeah.
they care about their fans, they stood there and they even bought pizza for their fans and everything. It was just something that stuck with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with that anyway, I wanted to kind of write about that. And I said, I'll set up a little website. I got a loan of €1,500 off my nanny Jackson. God rest her soul, she's not with us anymore. And I said, I'd pay her back whatever it was, €200 a month or something like that. And I did, I paid her back every penny, but I got a little website set up for myself. And off it went.
And where did the name come from?
So
Was it
my
'cause
name
it's
is Sue.
controversial?
Yeah, it was controversial. So my name
Yeah.
is Sue. Everyone calls me Sue. And then I was one day saying to my friend, she said, what would I call it? And I was like, what about Sue Me? Because
Yeah.
like, you know, Sue Me,
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know,
What
we're
you
going
gonna
to talk
do?
about
Yeah,
drama
Sue.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know.
yeah.
And then she was like, what about So Sue Me? And I was like, oh my God, that's it. And it just came like that. And it grew. And yeah, like obviously my makeup brand is So Sue now by Suzanne Jackson. We're kind of rebranding at the moment to So Sue Cosmetics. But yeah, so that's kind of how it all started.
So what year is then the blogging start? Because like you would have been
2010.
2006. You would have then been an Instagram influencer.
Exactly.
Basically,
So
you
it
had
started
the
off as-
OGs
Yeah,
in terms of
yeah.
that. Like,
I would have been one of the first. Like,
So how would you have been looking to then? Like, as in, like, did you see anybody before you and be like, I'd love to be doing that Instagram influencer, whatever it is?
yeah, so at the time when I first started, the likes of Zoella was starting. You guys probably don't know
No,
her.
haven't,
She was
no.
UK. The likes of Carly Bible, I think her name is now. But like, I don't follow them anymore. But back then, I massively followed them, and even like the likes of Desi Perkins, another big YouTuber. They were all kind of starting in around 2010.
Yeah.
But they had the confidence and the camera equipment to do video, where I didn't. So I said, right, I'll start on a website. And also then I start going to a couple of premieres with 98 and Spin. You get the free tickets, of course.
Yeah.
So people
Perks
were
of the
like,
job, yeah.
so people were like, what were you wearing and who did you meet? And that was how it grew. It was something so simple. But I always say this to people, it doesn't have to be this big thought out business idea. It can just be something that you're passionate about and you just pour everything into it. Like yourselves, you were telling me off camera, you started in your mom's house on a phone, you know, in a kitchen, like, and look at you now. So,
Robbing a living.
no, you're
Robbing
not.
a living.
Stop that. I can think of other people robbing a living, not you anyway.
it was actually funny though, because before we came in here, you were stopping, you were chatting to a lot of people outside. And
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen you in ages, so it's
Yeah.
obviously still people that you used to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Steve and all that from Spin. And yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. Like I loved working for Spin in 98. Like I wouldn't have left only for my boss at the time, Chris Doyle. He was the CEO of 98 FM, said, go do it. It's flying. We're hearing a lot about it, even in the radio side of things. But
Yeah.
Go and do it. And
Did anyone ever rob you a mug?
Never had a mug.
No.
No. Can I have a mug? Can that girl, what's her name? That girl, Laura, send me a mug. I'll buy one off your site.
Yeah.
No one ever robbed my mug though, no, but yeah.
That's that, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That's
so,
that.
so obviously the Instagram influencing, yeah? So
Yeah, so I started off as that, mainly.
with that.
Yeah.
So then you get the makeup and all, yeah? But see, with the Instagram influencing, nowadays,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what do you think is the difference between the nowadays and back then? Because like I see influencers nowadays and I think,
Well, it's like everyone's an influencer these days.
We're losing influencers as a whole are getting a bad name now because of people maybe jumping from brand to brand or not being loyal or maybe are a walking ad. I don't believe in being a walking ad.
Yeah,
you know?
this is literally a
We
conversation that
have
we've
this
Yeah.
chat, like,
so many times
yeah.
about like, so see, I find it so disrespectful, right? Some
Yeah.
people would say to me, now they'd only be messing, but they'd be like, look, there's the Instagram influencer, and I think that is the most disrespectful thing in the world.
Okay.
I think
Because
they know that that'll like slag somebody. You can slag
Because that's
somebody
what
by
I'm trying to
calling
say. They're
them
putting
that.
them into this pool of influencers who are earn money for no reason, and that's why it's offending. Because it's actually we have a skill, we have a talent here. Go on.
yeah,
I want to hear what you want to say.
yeah, no. My point is, I find like if you want to be an Instagram influencer, run with it, go with it, do what you want to do. But to me, it's disrespectful because, like I was saying there, it's like I wouldn't call, not all of them, as you said, I wouldn't call them influencers.
Yeah.
Who are the influencing and what are the influencing?
Yeah.
There's not a lot. They are advertisers that advertising for a company.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why some people that slag me because like people some companies have reached out to me and they say, oh look, we love what you do, blah blah blah. Do you want an affiliate link and all? And I'm like, ask my bollocks, like I'm not. That's not me. Like that's not what I want to do. But like a clothing company would reach out and say, do you want a tracksuit? I say, yeah, no bother. I'll advertise that tracksuit.
Yeah,
for you.
because you'll wear it.
Yeah,
That's-
I'll wear that
That's what I
tracksuit.
mean.
I
It's
like that.
authentic.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll advertise that, no problem.
Yeah.
It's not nowadays. I think like obviously back when you started, it was all like you were saying, it was legit. Like you were getting things that you liked.
And
that yous
we
were
were
into.
testing things before we'd use them as
Yeah,
well. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So there was an element of that, like send it to me, let me try it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just go plugging something for the sake of it.
But that's the thing. You never hear someone come on and say, "Oh, I tried this shampoo and it was shy."
Yeah,
No one
yeah.
ever says that.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about as well. Like, if you go onto some people's pages, they go to a restaurant and say that was the best meal I've ever had, and then
Yeah.
they go to another restaurant next week and that's the best meal they ever
Yeah.
had, and you'd be like, "Well, which
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Which is the best place?"
Well, sometimes with me, like I would have never done negative reviews on SoSueMe because I just don't like to be in a negative space and I just don't want to be brand bashing, right? But I have said over the years, this isn't for me, or you know, or I don't think that's maybe overpriced or not worth the money or something like that. But I don't think I'd judge anyone because they're not, because everything is great. But I don't judge people at all. But what I'm trying to say is that I just feel with influencers, we just need to just bring it back to basics a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be walking ad. You don't need to be, you know, like working with brands just for the sake of it. And I feel like as well, it's also good to build relationships with brands and make sure that you're with people long term and it's a partnership rather than being jumping from brand to brand to
Yeah.
brand, which is what I see sometimes with some influencers in Ireland, the UK, and all over. Not just
Yeah,
And I've made
definitely.
mistakes myself as well, lads. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here saying I'm great and I know it all. And I started I was one of the first and I'm the best. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying now for girls or men starting out in the influencer whatever sphere, just be a little bit more mindful of
Authenticity, I
yeah,
think.
being
Well,
authentic. Yeah.
What
You're-
you were
you're-
saying there, you don't want to have negative stuff. I don't think it's so much being negative. I think it's just being honest.
Yeah,
you know what I
true,
mean? Like,
true.
I'd
Or
appreciate-
just avoiding it. So like if you do go into a restaurant and you do have something to eat, not just putting it up just to put it up and say
Yeah.
this was gorgeous. I guarantee you some of the stuff isn't nice.
Yeah.
And they're still saying it's nice. Or just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do the video.
That's what I do. If I get sent something and I don't like it, I just go back and say no, it's not for me, and I just won't do it.
Yeah, and
You know?
that's fair enough. Then
Yeah.
we know. At least you know
Yeah.
that when you're going, anything that you do promote, we know
Yeah.
you genuinely do like that.
And I
that's,
do.
That's what we're touching on because we think the term influencer is the wrong term to use.
Yeah.
Advertisers should be the best because you've tens
Yeah.
of thousands, if not sometimes hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah.
And everything. It's like, get your runners here, get your runners there. Use this shampoo, use this toothpaste, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're literally advertising a range of stuff
Yeah.
that don't even relate to each other. Like they don't even fit in with your lifestyle. Like you'd see some of them, I don't know, some of them might advertise ski gear and they've never been skiing before, and you're like, what? Like how does that fit in with your life?
Yeah.
So the term influencer is the wrong term to use.
Yeah.
And we actually really got into it before because like I think influencer is a good term to use for Terence because he actually does influence people's lives.
Yeah.
And I actually only had a run in. You see me tweet. I got the bus in here, and a fella was looking at me, and I got real weirdy because he was staring at me, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But then I rang him. I'm gonna go off the phone. Your man leaned over and he goes, "Oh, that's where I know you from." He goes, "I love your
Yeah.
podcast." He
Yeah.
says, "I'm in recovery. Thanks to you too. You really get me through it." And I'm like,
Way.
"Fucking," I was like, "Oh mate, who's cutting onions?" Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh God.
but you're
That's nice.
influencing people's lives.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
people that get sober and they're changing their ways. That's influence. That's
I
what
agree.
that is.
Where you
But
have
then-
where you have a good impact on somebody.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
actually are influencing someone.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go onto someone's page and they're trying to sell you something, that's an ad. What's the
Yeah.
difference between this person's Instagram page and going onto the Nike website?
Yeah.
It's an ad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially,
Yeah.
you know, it's just another way of getting it across to you.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I
so
agree.
that's just where we have the problem with.
So do you like influencers?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't mind them. Like, yeah, it's grand. Just I just have a problem with authenticity. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I
I don't
agree,
like
yeah.
people who try and bullshit you. Just tell me the truth. You know, like that. And
Yeah.
back to the thing with brands. Like we have, like we don't drink, and
Yeah.
we have brands reach out to us and they be like, "We love your content and we love your podcast, we'd like you to send you out this stuff and be like, what is that? And they'd be like, oh, this new range of alcohol, and you're like,
You're
don't
kind of like,
drink.
you're kind of like, do not listen to my podcast. No,
But like
that we
that's just
don't drink.
disrespectful, like you know what I mean?
They're
Yeah,
like,
I
we
agree.
love your content.
I agree.
We listen to every episode. We have this alcohol here, and I'm like, mate,
Yeah.
you're winding me up. Like I'm in
Yeah.
recovery here.
Yeah,
Do you get me?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just say like, we think it'd be good if you would advertise this for us. Don't
Yeah.
say, oh, we love what you're doing, because you're just lying to us. And then someone did reach out to me there a couple of weeks ago and said that, and I was like, I actually don't drink. If you have a non-alcoholic version,
I was just
of
going to
this-
say, where's the non-alcoholic brands?
Exactly.
Come knocking, boys.
Exactly,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
And I said it
Yeah.
to them, and they never got back to me. I was like, all right,
But
sound.
do you know what I'm? Well, they might now after this. You never know. We're talking about it now. But do you know what I will say? I'm noticing. What age are you guys?
I'm 25.
25.
28.
So I'm 38. I think. Yeah, in and around. I'm like, oh my god, I feel old beside you. But like, do you not find all our age group, 20s and 30s, a lot of people are giving up the drink. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people giving up drink.
I feel it, well, that's what we're trying to do. And we have
Yeah.
a platform now, and we're trying to normalise going out and not
Yeah.
drinking, and we can see other people doing that, and we can even see some influencers doing that.
Great.
So, like you were saying a minute ago, we don't have a problem with any influencers.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just the term
Yeah.
influencer.
Yeah.
You're not an influencer, you're advertising.
Yeah.
Well done, do
Yeah.
that, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I see a lot of people now, like, that
giving
are promoting it. Like,
Yeah.
normalising going out and not drinking. You were saying Kenny Egan as well.
Kenny Egan's big, yeah. Kenny Egan had an awful time with alcohol, and he's all about that recovery and going out.
Fair play.
He's
yeah.
one. Do you know who Kenny Egan
No.
is? He's a boxer. He boxed for
Okay.
Ireland in the Olympics.
Okay.
But he was one of the first people, because like I don't drink years. Like I've tried that and I've drank and I had horrible experiences when I was growing up.
Okay.
But I've never gone out and drank.
Right.
You know, like that. So when I go out and I meet people for the first time, they're like, what do you do? Like, how do you go out and do this? Blah, blah, blah. And they're all very inquisitive. And they're like, they look at me like I've two heads.
As
They're like,
like
you're
it's
here.
mad.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
are you here not drinking? I'm like, this is normal. And Kenny
Yeah.
Egan was like the first person I've ever
That's
seen.
what you said to me the other day.
He came out and he actually talked about, I go out and don't drink. And I was like, more people need to talk about that. You know, like
Yeah.
being able to socialise
I agree.
without alcohol.
I
and I was
agree.
like, because I'm fucking screaming about it. Like, if I said to you, you come to a pub on a Monday, you don't ask me why, you just do it. Whereas if I say to you, I'm not drinking on a Friday, you say, why?
Yeah.
Like, why are you not drinking? It's the weekend. And I'm like, why do I have to justify not drinking?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Whereas if you're drinking on like a random bleeding Tuesday morning, you don't have to answer to anybody. You know, like that. So I just thought that was very weird.
I don't
Yeah.
think we're turning a corner, though.
No, we definitely
Yeah,
are.
well,
As you said, a lot of people are not
100%.
drinking, and I'd like,
Yeah.
I love it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think it's great.
It's the devil in one way, isn't it? Really.
It's nuts, especially drink. Like I know drug abuse is terrible, and there's a lot of things that need to be said about that. But a lot of stuff has to be said for drink. Like that stuff is legal. You can go in and
Drink
buy that
is
over
the
the counter.
worst for me.
I
That's
was
the
just gonna say,
gateway
they
to
say it's the
everybody.
worst, don't they? They say drink is the number one.
No
like,
two
yeah.
ways about it. Like, that is the gateway. You ask anybody who like even like what's the word, recreationally uses drugs.
Yeah.
Anybody who does that, it all starts with they had a few drinks.
Yeah.
Like no one ever just goes out and does a sniff, or no one ever just goes out and goes on the gird. You get me? It all starts with they had a few drinks, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, and whatever. But so the drink is the worst for me, anyways. That's
No,
what I'd
definitely,
say.
it is.
Because you can just come in and buy it over the counter.
Yeah, I know.
After 10 o'clock, brand new, vinegar 8 cans of the
Yeah.
finest.
And I think during COVID as well, a lot of people were just sitting at home. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, having a few drinks as well. So I feel like now, I think a lot of people are just like, feck that, I'm done with drink. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just gonna, like, and you don't feel great for days, you know what I mean? Like, even now, with my hangovers now as I'm older are worse than ever before. But like, fair play to you, I have to say, you're very admirable sitting in front of you now, talking about that.
Thanks very
Appreciate that.
much.
Enough about us then. Oh, wait, were you
No,
gonna say
that's it. No, that's like what I was saying is if you are gonna have your drinks, just drink in moderation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or try not drinking. See what you think. It's not for some people, and I get it.
Yeah,
Some
but
people
try it,
need it to
yeah.
come out of their shell, and I
Yeah.
get it. But like,
That's what I always say though. That's why I found it easier to stop drinking, was because I know I don't need a drink to have a conversation with people or
Yeah.
to run a
Neither
muck
of
and
you
get up
do.
and
You're
dance.
both confident lads.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Just get out and enjoy myself. But I know a lot of people are very insecure in themselves.
Yeah.
I might actually have a drink to calm down.
Oh, God,
To be honest
look.
with you.
I used to. I tell you, a few gargles in me, I'd be bleeding. Come on, mute.
Sleep in
We
the
would.
corner there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Suzanne.
Yes.
What's up? Right, so come here. Yeah, well, get into yourself a little bit. We're on here harping on about the two of us.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say was, so you are the OG. Like I remember back 5-6 years ago, like my board would be lying there, and you're like going through your story, and I'd be like,
Really?
"What? This is like." I was baffled by it. I'd be like, "You're so invested in someone else's life."
Yeah.
But now it's like if you go onto Instagram, everyone's like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the fuck?" But like, you have all kind of grown out of that.
Yeah.
You know, yourself. It would be she told me on the way, and don't tell me.
Rosie, something.
Rosie,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Pippa.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would be like the big three.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I right?
Yeah.
But you have all like grown away from that kind of thing, haven't you? So,
Yeah,
like, you are
pretty
literally
much.
now businesswomen.
Yeah, agreed.
And do you think that's like the natural progression? You go from like start small, you kind of build yourself, your own little brand, and then you eventually come on, you're just this colossal bleeding business then.
Pretty much. And like I suppose with me, and probably I could probably speak for Pippa and Rosie, saying that like we probably all saw that influencing, there is no longevity in that. It's great for a period of time, a window of time, but if you want to continue making that kind of money, you're going to need to build a business for yourself.
And do you reckon that's why people then do start like advertising all these different things, because they're trying to get that quick money, because they know there's no longevity in it, so why not take the hands off these companies for this amount of money just to promotion?
I don't know. I honestly, I can't answer that because
Everyone's different, I
Everyone's
suppose,
different.
yeah.
But like, I don't know if it's an element of that or it's an element of just people getting greedy. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know. But what I can say is, from myself, what I wanted to do was I was doing really well with influence and earning very good money with that. And I kind of just said to myself, it's getting very saturated now. Like, everyone was becoming an influencer. We were losing credibility with our customer because everyone was advertising bloody everything.
Yeah.
People were getting sick of influencers. So I was like, okay, I need to build something for myself long term here, you know, and look for my future. And that's when I wanted to create my own business. Now, I always wanted to have my own business, and I'd say Pippa and Rosie are the same. So I just remembered, like, obviously been makeup obsessed over the years. I was obviously a beautician, so we used to do makeup. Beauticians used to do makeup. Like, it's mad when you think back now,
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago. And I remember loving makeup. I went and studied makeup, and then I became a makeup artist at one point. So I always wanted to have my own makeup brand. And what I love about makeup is there's no size to makeup. There's no gender to makeup. You know, it's for everybody. And I love that about it. And it makes people, it changes lives, makeup. And I know that probably sounds a little bit like, what are you talking about, Suzanne? It actually does. If you like teach someone a little demo on stories of how to apply their makeup, and they do that the next day, people feel good about themselves. If you feel good about yourself on the outside, you actually do feel good about yourself on the inside. And it works both ways. You know, like sometimes you might be in good mood, but you look in the mirror and you're like, oh God, you know, you feel worse about yourself.
Look good, feel
But
good.
when you
That's
get
what
a
they say.
shower, you get fresh, you do your hair, you throw on a nice tracksuit, you feel better about yourself. So it's a little bit of that with makeup, but I wanted to kind of build longevity for myself, and I wanted to just, I suppose, just foolproof my future, you know? And yeah, I think if you have the right mentality, but like, again, it comes down to always been a grafter. I would have always made money, do you know what I mean, one way or another, because I like to be busy and I like to be independent and I like to make sure that I'm financially secure. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has the same opportunities as me, and I'm not saying that everybody has the same, I suppose, maybe the same drive or goals or life, and that's fine. But for me, I kind of had my path mapped out fairly.
Yeah, but it doesn't
clear.
really matter. Like, some people do got a better start or a better head
That's
start
what I
or a
meant to
better
say. Some people
opportunity.
might not have a good start. I had a good start.
But again, you have to start at some stage,
Yeah.
and you have to work.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I like that little bit of humility there, you know what I mean? She didn't go with the whole, everyone has 24 hours in the day.
No, and I don't agree with that. Like, obviously, yes, everyone has the same time of the day,
Yeah.
of course, but not everybody has the same opportunities. Not everybody else has the same start.
Yeah.
Not everybody else has the same supportive, family that I had. You know, and I wasn't given money. I don't come from money. My mum and dad are very normal Joe subs, but they definitely were very good in driving me and keeping me motivated and being very supportive. And I do think it's important sometimes to kind of have that support mechanism around you, whether that's friends, family, whatever it is. You need to feel encouraged is probably the word I'm looking for. So I definitely had that, and I feel Rosie has the same, and I feel Pippa has the same. I think anyone, and look, there's people in business that maybe don't have any support, but Jesus, they're a different gravy, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, superstars in my eyes, you know?
Yeah. So, is any, like, what's the next step for you then? Because I know your brand is it's booming.
Yeah, it's booming, yeah.
Like, if you just literally type your name into
We
Google,
can't
it's
keep
just boom.
stock, and we can't keep stock in stock. Basically, it's just flying. I've never. I think it's because it's back with a bang now after those 2 years.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, those 2 years in not recession, sorry, in COVID,
COVID, yeah.
was absolute. It was turmoil for businesses. It was extremely difficult and pressing and trying, but we got there. But for me, the next step now is to try and move into new regions. And I've been trying that for a few years, but there is so much to that, lads, to moving into America, moving into the UK. Like, we're obviously in the UK, but I want to get into America, like, on a big level. There's so much that, like, the packaging is different, the rules are different, the ingredients are different. Like, it's a completely different ballgame. So that's kind of my plan. And then maybe down the line, maybe, I don't know, a year or two, maybe another brand, maybe another something.
a little Talking Bollox exclusive here. Fill us, yeah, Suzanne.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
So, what do you mean on a brand? As in makeup? Or?
No, something else, yeah.
something that you wear? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm involved in fashion as it is. I also have another business. I'm an investor. I'm part of a business called Mantra Official, and that's it's a boot range at the moment. We're expanding that at the minute, and that's exciting. That's something I just invested in last year with two of my pals actually. Terry McAvoy, you might know her from social media.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Terry McAvoy and Siobhan, she's in the background in terms of social media. She wouldn't be big into social media. But yeah, so I'm in business with those two girls. But I'm looking, I suppose, at other avenues now to invest my money. And it's true what they say, money makes money. So you got to put your money into places that's going to make you more. And not that I want more, it's just that it's good to be
Everybody
proactive.
wants more money, Suzanne.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
say it.
Well, money is the root to all evil. I'm not as. I'll be honest with you. It's caused me some headaches now over the years. When you have money, you know, I will be honest with you. And you kind of people tend to take advantage of that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, believe it. People think that we're
And-
worth a fortune, Suzanne. I swear to
We haven't got a euro.
Genuinely, people who think that we're rolling in it over this
there you go.
podcast. How much money do you think you make out of podcasting? Joe Rogan is the only person I know who has ever like struck it big
Yeah.
with podcasts.
Now, what's
100
that-
million.
was that what it
supposedly
was?
200 million he got.
Was
Or-
it?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's
Look, I don't know
impressive.
anyone else who's like literally like, yeah, see that gaff? Yeah, podcast pay for that.
I
You know
like-
what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Not yet, anyway.
Well, I'd say you
Not yet,
definitely
anyways.
you go there, lads. And you
See
know
what
what?
happens.
You're normal Joe Soap lads. That people are going to love about you guys, and they probably already love about you. You're just normal lads, and I love that about you.
Yeah.
You have no agenda. You're just here chatting bollocks.
That's it. Well, that's what,
And
that's
it's
what we're
great.
here for. Well, that's the thing. So, like we said, we told you how we started, and
Yeah.
it was the fact that we were underrepresented in the media in terms of our demographic, where we're from. People who look and sound like us.
Yeah.
We were very stereotyped. People look at us and they automatically think crime and poverty and just bad news, basically. So we said, no, we're going to go on there and we're going to tell people it's not really like that. And we had people on who had similar stories to us.
Yeah.
And then eventually that branched out.
Yeah.
So now it's nice to get other people in other walks of life, though. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, that's what
Because
it's
I
all
think
about.
that shows growth for us personally. that
Definitely.
We're willing to have conversations with someone who comes from a different background than
Yeah.
us. You know, like that. Whereas before we're like, no, fuck them. They
Yeah.
don't want to know about us. But we do now. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you need to break down that barrier. There's no point in saying
No.
they don't want to know about us, so I don't want to know about them. Because if you want to know about them, they might want to know about you, and we'll all get on. We'll all move forward. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Absolutely, I do agree.
Yeah, I want to actually touch on something. So, the reason why I was talking about Kenny Egan is, so we went to the boxing last weekend. Are you a fan of boxing? No. No.
I'll watch it, like, but I'm
You would have watched Bernard Dunnan all years ago, I'd say.
yeah, I remember the Brandon.
Do you know who Mick Conlon is? No.
Is
Right.
it awful now, just in case anyone's
it's
listening or
grand.
watching?
So
No.
we had Mick on the podcast. He was fighting for a world title there on Saturday. So when we flew over, there was a load of boxers on the plane. Like, shout out to Spike as well, because he's dying to come on the podcast. But when I was there, I was in Nottingham, yeah, and I was queuing up with the boys, and there was hundreds and thousands of Irish people there, like from all over the country, not just Belfast. There was people from like Sligo, Kildare, Tipperary, Cork, and they're all pulling me and they're like, "We love you, our podcast." And I was like, "This is fucking mad." And I was like, "Yeah, grand." And a fella pulled me from Sligo, and he says, "I love your podcast because I'm from where you're from." And I goes, "A Kip?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, our Kip, isn't it?" And he goes, "Fucking right, it is." And he goes, "He's a fighting the good fight though." So it was nice to know, because when we started, it was like, this is our bubble. It's not bad, but there's loads of these bubbles all around the country. You
I
know what I mean?
agree, yeah.
Not just fucking in our city, Dublin. There's other parts
There's
of the
good
country.
and there's good and bad places everywhere, and there's
Yeah.
places that have a bad rep everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So you know, and it's not that you have a bad rep. I don't think you're overthinking it. You definitely don't.
I know.
Do you?
Trust me, I'll tell you a few stories
Really?
after this.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely do. But what I was getting at there is, like, just because we think we sound and look like this is how we act. There's other places out there that act the same. They just have a different accent or
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
definitely.
I think that's where we've kind of grown. Because a lot of people say this podcast is very Dublin, but now I think it's just very Ireland. You know
No,
what
I think it's very Ireland. Yeah, I
you
do.
know what I mean? So like, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yeah, woohoo.
Yeah, where were we getting at there? I went off. I interrupted
Yeah, you
something.
sort of just took us on a little.
But I interrupted something. There was a question.
You were
getting asked there.
saying about. Oh, I know. We were saying about Kenny Egan. You were talking about.
Yeah, next step. So
Yeah,
you're
your
gonna-
next step, and
Your next step.
Yeah.
You're going in. You're rebranding. And
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, anyways, go back a little bit, cause see when you started the makeup thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, would there have been loads of companies doing that, yeah?
oh god, yeah,
How do
saturated
you-
market.
How do you make yours different then, and then make it explode like that then?
I think for us, I think the main thing for SoSue Cosmetics was that it was extremely good quality for a very good price. And being Irish, we love a bargain.
And how
we
can-
don't like to be ripped off,
Yeah.
you know. So I feel like if you have a good quality product for a good price, it will do wonders. And then obviously I did have the influence and background where people were like that, like you're a
Trusted you.
girlfriend, were kind of on the journey with me and they trusted me. And that is one thing that I do have with my followers. There's people that don't like me, probably listen to this as well, that aren't going to like me, and that's fine. You know, you either like me, you don't, that's grand.
People that listen to this that don't like us.
Yeah, well, who's winning there, boys? You know. But then there's people there who do like me and do trust me and have come on the journey with me for the last, 10, 11 years. But yeah, I suppose for us it was just about like affordable luxury. That's really what did it for us. Now, obviously, there's other affordable luxury products on the market, but I think if you start something thinking, God, there's 100 of them, I'm never going to compete, then you're going in with the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
Or if you go in saying, do you know what, I've got something here.
Yeah.
And I also think people as well sometimes, when they find their niche, find your niche and stick at it. Find your lane and stay in your lane, because I think that's really important, because when you get into business, it gets very, the opportunities start coming flowing and people tend to go left and right and straight, and before you know it, they're doing this or doing that, and you don't actually know what they stand for anymore.
Yeah.
So I think just keep your blinkers on, keep your head about you, and make sure that everything you're doing is moving in the same direction, or the business is, like, basically carve out a bit of a niche for yourself and become like almost like a specialist in that. So like people now know that I love makeup, I know exactly how to apply, I know how to sell it to my customers, in the sense of I'm showing them how to get their money's worth out of it. But there's also a trust element there as well. Like obviously a lot of my customers will be Irish based, so. Yeah, but that's
Makes sense, But that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's obviously because of your background and because people trusted you. Because obviously the way it took off like that, you know what I mean? And there's millions of people that's trying it.
Yeah.
And it just never took off.
But don't get me wrong, I've had my tough times, I've made my mistakes, but like that's what life is all about. It's about learning, making sure you learn from your mistakes and making sure that.
Have you any businesses that like fell flat on their face, died? Any ideas that just never took off?
Not fell flat on their face, but I remember at one point I did invest a little bit in fashion in the very early days, and didn't fall flat on its face by any means, but it just didn't take off the way I would have wanted it to take off. But that was okay, and I think you use these failures to ignite you even more, and it teaches you lessons. Every time I fail or fall down, I'm like, what is this teaching me?
Yeah.
Because if you look at it like, oh, not me again, someone's out to get me, this is my karma, you're just in the wrong mindset there. I always say to myself, when shit's going wrong or the shit's hitting the fan, okay, what is this teaching me, and how am I going to make sure this doesn't happen again? Now, things can happen again and again because you're human.
Yeah.
But my mom always says, she's a religious like most Irish mammies.
Yeah.
She always says, God will keep giving you the same lesson until you learn it. He'll keep giving you the same. You're going to get the same outcome until you learn your lesson,
You have that real business head screwed on you, don't you? You have to look back retrospectively. Like
you have to. You can't look back like thinking, poor me. Or
yeah, you have to say, right, this is where I went wrong and I'm going to change that.
You have to be very aware. You got to be very self-aware. And like, Joe Rogan would talk a lot about that, and Jordan Peterson is one of my favourite clinical psychologists who talk a lot about it. It's about being self-aware and like taking your head out of your arse for 5 minutes and saying, okay, where did I go wrong? Maybe why is this not working? And admitting to yourself when you fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're human at the end of the day. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm by no means one of the best or the biggest businesswomen in Ireland at all. But I know that I know what I have done, and I know that I will continue to strive for more.
That was just a humble thing to say. Definitely how one of the big.
No, I don't know. Lads, I hate when people say that to me. I get so shy. I don't see myself like that at all. And I know, again, people probably watch it like, shut the fuck
But
up.
that's why you are where
But
you
I
are.
genuinely don't see myself like that.
Yeah.
Genuinely don't. Like, I hate when people get me mixed up like that and think, oh, she's up her own arse and she thinks she's great. I don't.
But what's the issue with that? I feel like that's only an Irish thing. Like,
Yeah,
you start
maybe.
making them people go, she's up her own arse now.
It doesn't bother me, like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just don't want people to have that opinion of me. But like, people's opinions, what I'm trying to say is, they don't bother me, right? But I don't.
You wouldn't like to have the
But I don't want
perception
people,
that you're not a nice person and she's very ignorant.
Yeah,
you know
or
what I mean? You'd love
she's
someone
been
to say,
handed it on the plate. I hate that. Like,
you'd love someone to say, she's a lovely girl. She worked fucking very hard. You know,
that's all.
how
Everyone
feel.
wants.
Yeah. Essentially, no one wants to have a bad reputation.
No.
Like, let's be real. I know people say they don't care. You don't want a bad one.
No one wants a bad
Do you know what I mean?
No.
But I love that mentality of we win or we learn. I love that. You know what I mean? I just say that and walking all people like, fuck you want to do.
It's
You know what I mean?
true. It's true.
Yeah, like playing John Kavanagh sitting there. But no, you need that.
I know John Kavanagh.
Yeah.
That was, he was the trainer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know James Kavanagh, obviously.
Yeah.
Gas character. You should get James Kavanagh on this. Have you ever had him on?
No.
Oh, lads, you would love him. Like the crack. Yeah, you would.
Get John on first.
Yeah. Has John not been on yet? No?
No, not yet.
Busy man.
He'd actually be a good one to get on. Yeah.
Love to have
Who's your
John.
dream guest?
I don't know now. See, this has changed over time.
All right.
Like,
Definitely.
because it was weird. I know this is gonna sound a bit like what you were saying. This is gonna sound a bit like, oh, they think they're forgetting themselves. But like at the start, you were like, oh, this is who we could get on. And now with the people who we've had on and where we've come and what
Yeah.
we're doing, I'm like, you know what? I think we can do better than that.
Yeah.
We can aim past them.
Good.
You know, so I don't know, to be honest with you. But if you this time last year, if I said you were going to be sitting there, I would have been like, not a chance. Do you know what I
Aw.
mean? Like being honest with you.
Thank
Like,
you.
So I don't know. Have you got anyone off the top of your head?
Anyone in the whole world?
Yes.
Your dream guest?
Your dream.
David
guest.
Goggins.
Yeah.
Do you know David Goggins? No. That's all right. That's all right. That's
Who
okay.
is? Come on, tell me
Suzanne,
about
where
it.
are you living?
I
like,
don't
you what I mean?
know. In my fucking business, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Don't lift my head up for fucking air these days.
Yeah, how do you even explain David Goggins?
Yeah, I don't know. What would you
I've
be?
heard of him though.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
an animal.
Yeah, you would have definitely
an
heard.
animal.
Is he sporty?
Yeah, he used to be in the army or something.
Yeah, he used to be a Marine. In
Okay.
the US Marine, but now he's all into like ultra fucking fitness and like, you know, he has the like pull up record, doesn't he?
Oh wow.
I think it got broke recently, but he
Had the record for pull ups and he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. I really recommend
Twice.
Okay.
going back and listen to the first one. The first
I
one's unbelievable.
Okay.
His story is sensational. So I genuinely can't think of someone.
No.
I'm gonna go with Killian Murphy. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy, that's
Because
a nice
it stuck in my head. But I got asked this before and I said something stupid as well. I always get put on the spot with this. And then I'll go home later and I'll be like, I should
You're like, should have said that.
I'm the same.
You know what I
I
mean?
said Ray Mysterio the last time. I wasn't fucking thinking.
Yeah, well, look, we go with Killian.
Go
but-
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
God,
so
he's
put a
the
word
one.
in if you find out.
Yeah, defo. Yeah, I'll have a little nosy in the emails. Does anyone know anyone?
Yeah. Come here, I want to actually ask you about doing bits on the telly.
Yeah, go on.
So what are you doing on the telly? You doing?
So I basically, the main thing I was kind of doing for the last 3 years is I was the presenter for the Style Counselors.
Suzanne, do you want a cup of water for?
Yes, please. I'd love one. I was drinking my coffee there, and it's starting to go a little bit cold. So I'd love a cup of water.
And it's about 40 degrees in there.
I know. I can feel my lipstick is worn off my face. I'm sweating under this jacket. Thank you. You're very good.
3 kilo light, I'll leave it here.
There we are.
What did you ask me there?
Sorry.
I
that's
can't
my
remember
bad.
Telly,
now.
about the telly.
Oh yeah. So basically, I'm the presenter for the Style Counselors, which is a TV show. Comes around. We start filming around September, October each year. I'm not sure if it's going to be recommissioned this year because you have to get the ratings and all that and see how well it does. And then it airs in January. But essentially, we bring on 7 guests, 7 or 6, can't even remember now. I think it's six episodes, I think. And we bring them through a bit of a journey. So they've lost themselves fashion-wise, style-wise. Maybe they've had a kid and they've just been busy being a mom, or maybe they've lost weight or put on weight, or maybe they've been through a bad breakup, or even we had a girl on from Ballyfermot actually who came through addiction. This time around, Jessica,
Brilliant.
she was lovely, she was brilliant. So yeah, I bring people on and bring them on a bit of a journey, but I love it. Everyone has a different story and a different walk of life, and it's interesting to hear that. But at the end of the show, we kind of restyle them, full makeover, but the real makeover is done in here. And that's what I love about it, because you build their confidence and you show them that they're actually beautiful when they look in the mirror properly and they actually do give themselves a bit of time. I think as well, as Irish people, we sometimes we forget about ourselves, particularly I know with my friends when they have kids and stuff like that. Women in particular just tend to forget about themselves and they put their kids first, and that's fine, that's great. And I don't have kids, so I can never judge. But I always like to say, give yourself time. Spend time on yourself. You are number one in your own life. You cannot pour from an empty cup, I always say to people. So you have to look after yourself, and self-care is so important, and not to lose yourself. Even if you are a busy mom or you've been through addiction, whatever it might be, just focus on you and work on you. It's very important that you as a person are happy in yourself, I think. What do you think?
Nice. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you couldn't have said it fucking
Yeah.
better, do you get me?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to wear your confidence, don't you, really?
You have to, yeah,
And it radiates as well. So
It radiates.
People can sense it. It's like, Joe, when
Yeah.
you were bleeding in school and they're telling you how to do a job interview, like
Yeah.
you're tapping and all, you're nervous, they won't hire you. Or if you're chewing your nails and stuff like that, a nervous
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So if you come in, good handshake, you smile,
Yeah.
it's mad because
Carry
like a good
yourself.
smile, someone thinks, oh, geez, this fella knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's
It's
having a
true.
clue, like.
It's so true. It's so just winging it.
Yeah, basically,
But
yeah. and here
everyone
we
in
are.
life is winging it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there is. I always think this as well, because I'd be like, how the fuck am I getting through this year? Like,
Yeah.
literally, no one's telling you how to live. There's no like book to say like, this is how you raise your kids, this is how you keep your house, this is how you keep your job. There's no book.
No.
I know I always think about like being a parent as well. It's like, oh, your man, dad know everything, and then I'm like, I'm a dad, and I'm like, I don't fucking nothing, like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm like, how am I supposed to actually be rearing someone here?
Yeah.
I'm responsible for people, and it's just mad. So essentially,
Yeah.
we all are winging it.
Everyone is, yeah. There's
Like-
no rule book. There's no way to do things.
There's no one way of doing
No.
things. Yeah.
But
know,
I think
like
I think the one thing we've all learned though through COVID and everything is just to look after yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
mentally,
Definitely.
physically,
100%.
mental looking after yourself is huge. Like even I get my down days, my shitty days. You know, everybody gets down in their head, and I just think it's important to try and find your release and let that be something like fitness or going for a walk or walking your dog or having a bath or reading a book or whatever it is. But I think everyone needs to find their escape and try and make it a healthy one. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm sure it's easy to fall into unhealthy escapes as well. You know.
Your software looks after your hardware, isn't it? Up there for dancing and all that.
That's
Up
it.
there for dancing.
Oh, I
Up
knew
there for
what you
taking,
meant.
down there for dancing.
I knew
Yeah,
what you meant.
sounds. Come here. So you're doing anything else with the telly is where I was getting at.
No, nothing at the moment. Not that I can think of. There's obviously been offers on the table over the years to do our own TV show, the family show, and all. I'm like, we're not the fucking
Leading
Kardashians
the
here.
Kardashians.
Get
Like
out
the
the
Kardashians.
door. I am not sitting there like, no way, I'd fucking die. No, it's not me.
Come here, Dad only come back to haunt it.
Oh my God,
Look
no.
at your man on California. There's no way he's getting over that.
Stop.
5 eggs per bloke per day.
See the fella drives the taxi?
Yeah, there you go. Do you know what I mean? Poor fella can't pick up a fare without someone quoting that. Like, you're 19, shut your face. Do you know what I mean? That never
wild.
work out well.
No, I'm not into it like that. I'm not into reality TV at all.
Are you not?
No. Like I don't even really watch much reality. Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't watch
I-
Love Island or anything like that.
Yeah, I've never
No,
seen
no.
an episode of it.
Oh, what was it?
Love Island or
No,
No, like I've watched a little bit of the Kardashians, and like they're actually shared their whatchamacallit, their trailer the other day for their next one. Now, I never really watched it, but this is all about Travis and Kylie being pregnant. No, Travis getting with Courtney, and now Pete Davis and Kanye West. So he's following that drama.
Yeah.
Just follow Kanye's Instagram. You don't need to watch anything.
I
Just his
know.
Instagram, where
It's
at.
mad. It's just, you know what? I don't know what I think.
It's actually
What
a
do
bit
you-
tragic, no?
I feel, you know
I
what?
feel very bad for him.
I do.
And then you think like the family and all involved. And then his documentary's lethal on Netflix. Have you watched
Everyone's talking about
Oh,
this. I
have you not
haven't
seen
watched it yet. No, I haven't had a minute, but like I want to.
that? Yeah, Suzanne, you need to watch it.
Really?
It's fucking
Quality,
class.
yeah.
Okay.
It's lethal. Because
Yeah.
it was from like, it was filmed like 20 years ago.
Back in '98, I think it starts.
It starts, yeah, and it's like
Wow.
all about how he come up,
Yeah.
and you see him like he grafted, like
Did he?
no one believed in him, and he grafted, and then there's 3 episodes, and then the last episode is like a recent one, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
recent footage, and you just see how far he's declined. And you're like,
Wow.
it's tragic.
I feel
yeah.
sorry for him. I do. And I said that to my friends. We were talking in the group chat the other day, and they were like, how could you feel sorry for him? He's a narcissist. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I do. I'm a bit soft like that as well. Like, you know, I do feel sorry for him in ways, but I'd like to watch that. So I'm actually going to.
Yeah,
Give
no,
her a
do.
watch.
Give
Turn
it a
that on.
bash. Give
I
it a
will.
bash tonight. There you go. Netflix wrapped up. for
There we
you.
go.
So, Suzanne,
Yeah.
what's the plans for yourself going forward then?
So I want to definitely invest in more businesses. I want to set up a new brand, which I'm kind of working on in the background at the moment. That'll probably be here. It was supposed to be here for October this year, but it's not going to happen with COVID and everything pushed things out. But for myself, I don't know, lads, really. Like, and I used to be able to answer this question. I don't really know what's in store for me. I just want to just keep growing, and I want to make sure that SoSue Cosmetics goes into other regions.
Yeah.
And who knows? The world is your oyster. You know, like I have ticked a lot of boxes for myself. I'll be honest with you. Like if you had asked me this 10 years ago, I would want to be where I am now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I definitely want to be somewhere else now in 10 years, but I just haven't really figured that out yet.
Yeah.
And I think the last 2 years has kind of just taught me to slow down.
Yeah.
And it's not all about constantly trying to be the best and constantly trying to ensure that I want more and more growth. And
Sometimes you have to
I'm
just sit in there and
just
realise how
lately,
far
I'm
you're
just
at
like,
the coming, yeah.
Like my friend said, you're gone very chill. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Mm.
I'm just enjoying life at the moment. I'm enjoying doing what makes me happy. And yeah,
But in fairness, you're paving the way for yourself, you know, like in a couple of years' time, anyways, because these things are going to sustain themselves, you know. Like,
Yeah, please,
you need to
God.
look at it that way. You know what I mean? Like every business out there, eventually, that's the whole goal, is so that you can take the foot off the gas of it, and it'll keep going.
that's another thing actually. That's fair, that you just said that. Fair play for bringing that up. I would like to step back a little bit from SoSue Cosmetics and Drip and Gold, and everyone's probably going to be like, "What?" I just mean that I'm so involved, and I'll always be involved in the product. But like I'm like flat out involved now for the last 7 years, and I'm just. It's. I think I'm just at the stage now where I'd like someone to come in and run it for me, you know, and I could focus on other things, new challenges. But like we have to get to new regions before that can happen. But it's on the cards. I've got a big growth plan for SoSue Cosmetics and an organisation chart of people that I want to hire and stuff. So I'm kind of on doing that at the moment. But I'm just taking everything in my stride as well.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
class. No, and
Yeah.
you are a big businesswoman. I know you.
Thank you.
You said you weren't, but like you are. Like, let's be real here. You know what I mean? So I think that's something, especially over the last few months, you need to look at as well. That we need more women, like at
Yeah.
the top of the ladder. and like you're after making your own brand. It's not as if like someone just said, "Here,
No.
we have this. Do you want to be like whatever? Jump on board." You're
I
like, "No,
grafted.
you started it from the bottom up. Like,
I
so.
did. I really did. And that's something I'm very proud of. And that I can say I'm proud of is that I did start from the bottom. And now we're here.
Great. fella.
No, I
Love
did.
it.
I did start from the bottom, like you guys. And you know what? It makes it worth its while at the end of it when you see how much you've grafted and what you've achieved. And it makes it very exciting. And yeah.
Because that's your baby. You know what I mean? You're
It
making
is my
like,
baby.
You made it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this is, well, essentially it is. This is our baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to have something like that.
Absolutely.
A little side hustle. And that's what you, like basically where you started. You
That's
had
where
a
I
side
started.
hustle.
SoSueMe was a side hustle, and it just grew into this business. And then and from there progressed into SoSue Cosmetics, and then we've Drip and Gold Tan as well. Yeah, but like I think once you kind of get on that ladder, you want to keep going. You want more for yourself. It's like what Matthew McConaughey always says. You're always like you're chasing that hero, and he's always 10 years ahead. You know, you're never satisfied. You're never fulfilled.
It's just human
But-
nature, isn't
but
it? You
yeah.
always want more.
You always want more.
Like
And like
Jeff
anyone who
Bezos
says
is
they
about-
don't, I'm like,
No.
Look at Jeff Bezos. He's about 200 billion.
yeah,
and
I
he's
know.
still going.
Yeah, he's
Still fucking going.
some man, isn't he?
Doesn't stop. Like,
Would you go go into space now if you had the opportunity?
100%.
So would I.
Yeah, tomorrow, no. Cancel Switzerland and go to space instead. No problem.
Would you? Yeah.
Would you not go?
I don't see the point. What are you going up for?
You're in space, bro.
I'd love to go.
You're not going
Yeah.
to Lanzarote, like.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
space.
but I mean, no, keep it. I'm fresh.
Really?
No, yeah, I'm staying in the flats.
Yeah.
Going to space, keep it.
Yeah, sound. I'll FaceTime you when I'm on the mountain. Oh, I'm fucking sweating now.
Very warm.
Me?
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
We wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Suzanne, thanks very much for coming in to us.
You're
I
very
know it's been
welcome.
a few weeks in the making.
We know
It
you're
has.
super busy.
Yeah.
So thanks for your time.
But
Yeah.
thank you for having me, lads. I think yous are great.
Yeah, and we think
Cheers.
you're all right as well.
Oh, thank you. We'll have a non-alcoholic beer together
Yeah.
some night.
Let's
Sláinte.
do it.
Yeah, we'll hold you to that. Take us out, Keno.
Boom.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the GoLoud app.
What you waiting for? Put your back in it. Just a little more. Throw your weight in it now. Tell your body you take. Walk it hard and long. When you finish that
The hip knocker.
song, go down.